Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 68 of 71 of this 2017 USPBL season. I'm Rich Borland. As we look on to this first Saturday of September, thoughts of football are looming, but we still have another week or so left here in the USPBL. Tonight, we have an exciting matchup as the Eastside Diamond Hoppers take on the Westside Wolly Mammoths for the 12th time this season. As of right now, the Wolly Mammoths are technically out of the playoff contention. They will automatically be the 4 seed, as coming into play tonight, they sit at 21 and 29 with just 4 games left in the season. As for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, they have a lot to play for here tonight. They currently sit at 26 and 23, which is good enough for second place in this entire league. The only problem is they are just 1.5 games up on the Utica Unicorns. One positive thing for the Diamond Hoppers is that they have 3 games left in the regular season. One more game versus the Mammoths after today, and another one versus the Utica Unicorns. During this season series, the Diamond Hoppers have completely dominated. In fact, they've won 10 of the 11 games between these two. They were 10-0 until the Mammoths could finally break out for a 5-3 victory on August the 30th, just the other day. As we look on to tonight's matchup, we have Tanner Keast of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers facing off against Josh Mason of the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Let's quickly give you their numbers as is. On the season, Tanner Keast for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, a 0-0 win-loss record. He supports a 3.25 ERA through 16 games. He's got 9 games completed, 9 total games, 7 of them starts. He's got 36 innings pitched in the 9 games. He's got 66 strikeouts on the year, 31 walks, and he's given up 24 hits to his credit. On the season against the Westside Wolly Mammoths, he's actually only pitched 1 time against this team. In fact, that was back on July the 19th, where he threw just 1 inning, gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits, also had 1 K in the 5-4 win. As for Josh Mason and the Westside Wolly Mammoths, Josh Mason supporting a line of this in this 2017 summer. A 4-1 win-loss record with a 2.59 ERA in 20 complete games. In those 20 games, he's got 2 starts, only making start number 3 on the season here for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. He's got 1 save to his credit, and in the 34.2 innings pitched, he's got 35 strikeouts while giving up 19 walks and 25 hits on the year. As for how he's done against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, he's actually made 4 relief appearances, but today being his first start. In the 4 relief appearances versus the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this year, Josh Mason has thrown in 6 innings while giving up 4 earned runs on 7 hits, 5 walks, while striking out 7 batters. As the managers meet with the umpires at home plate, let's quickly give you the starting lineups for both teams, starting off with the 26 and 23 away Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Leading off, playing shortstop, wearing number 7 out of Rappahannock Community College, that is Ricky Castro. Batting second, playing center field, the hometown product out of Adrian College and Grand Rapids, Michigan, Ian Mikowski. Batting third, playing right field out of Southern Illinois, that is number 12, John Mencken. Batting cleanup today for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers out of San Jacinto College, that is Esteban Gomez. He rocks number 21. Cam Stewart batting in the 5-hole today, playing second base. He's out of Frostburg State. Batting sixth as the designated hitter, that is Mark Kruger. He's rocking number 8 this afternoon. Trevor Achenbach batting in the 7-hole. He's playing third base today. Achenbach out of Oklahoma Wesleyan. And batting 8th, playing left field, wearing number 11 today, normally number 55, out of Calhoun, Georgia. That's Josh McAdams. Batting in the 9th spot, playing catcher today out of Western Oregon University for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. That's Brandon Oliver. And like I said, his battery mate is Tanner Keast out of Riverside Community College. Meanwhile, for the Westside Wolly Mammoths, the home team, not fighting for much in the rest of this regular season as they sit at 21 and 29. They've lost 8 out of their last 10 games. Again, they are 5.5 games behind these Eastside Diamond Hoppers and 6.5 games back on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. In this game 68 of 71 of the regular season, this is the Westside lineup from top to bottom. Leading off, playing second base, out of Troy, Alabama, number 11, Jalen Lawson. Jalen had a solo shot last night and also struck out twice against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Batting second, out of George Mason University, that is number 9, Kent Blackstone at shortstop today. He went over 4 with 2 Ks last night versus Birmingham Bloomfield. The birthday boy from yesterday, new 23-year-old playing center field today, number 18, that is Thomas Fiesel. Fiesel went 2 for 3 yesterday with 2 singles, a stolen base, and a walk to his credit. Batting in the cleanup spot, playing right field today out of Tifton, Georgia, number 21, Alex Abbott. Abbott 1 for 4 last evening with a single and a strikeout. Batting in the designated hitter spot, playing in the 5-hole today, number 22, that's Ethan Whisker. He's out of Hillsdale College. Whisker last night went 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, and a strikeout. Joe Davis batting in the 6-hole today for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. He's playing over at first base. He had actually got 1 at-bat in last night as he pinch hit for Jeff Smith, but could only ground out into a 6-3 putout to end the ball game last night. And then Riley Palmer batting in the 7-hole today, playing third base instead of first, which he's been at for the most part as of recent memory. He went over 3 last night with a strikeout. Nick Kraus batting in the 8-hole behind the dish today out of Hillsborough Community College. Number 4, he went 1 for 3 last evening with a single and a strikeout. And then R.J. Fuhrer rounding out this West Side lineup. He is in left field today out of Mount Mercy. Josh Mason, like I mentioned, the starting pitcher for the Westside Wolly Mammoths, he is out of Temple. Josh Mason on the season, a 4-1 record with a 2.59 ERA, making his 3rd start of the season. Gave you his numbers against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this year in 4 relief appearances, 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 5 walks, and 7 Ks. Intros are just about done here as we are getting ready for the national anthem. And we will come back to you with first pitch when we come back here on the USPBL YouTube channel. You are listening here live with Rich Borland.
The starting pitcher tonight for the Westside Wolly Mammoths from Chesapeake, Virginia, number 14, Josh Mason. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area around home plate. We're presenting the colors this evening is VFW Post 6250, north end of Sterling Heights. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, performed this evening by information technology specialists from the 156th Expeditionary Signal Battalion of the Michigan Army National Guard and serving for nearly 9 years, John Brandenburg.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A nice rendition of the U.S. national anthem performed by a man who's served for nearly a decade. So thank you very much for your service, and not a bad job with the microphone either. And we are finally all set and ready to go here as Josh Mason will get things going, starting his warm-ups with Nick Kraus behind home plate. Quickly give you the defense behind Mr. Mason. He is out of Temple University. From left to right in the outfield, R.J. Fuhr, number 6 from Mount Mercy. He's in left. Thomas Fiesel from Northwestern. He's in center field. In right field, out of Tifton, Georgia, Alex Abbott. From left to right in the infield, out of Southern New Hampshire, number 3, Riley Palmer. He's at third base. Ken Blackstone at shortstop. He's out of George Mason. Jalen Lawson from Troy, Alabama. He's at second base. And Joe Davis out of Dakota State is over there at first. Nick Kraus, the man at the back end of this battery between him and Josh Mason. He's out of Hillsborough Community College. On the season, the Westside Wolly Mammoths coming into this one at 21-29 in the Western Division of this USPBL. And then on the other side, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers coming into this one in first place in the East, second place overall. They are 26-23, just a game behind the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. They could pick up a half a spot here tonight if they could take care of the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Josh Mason on the season against these Eastside Diamond Hoppers. He's got 4 relief appearances, and he's got 6.1 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 5 walks, and 7 Ks. The lineup that he'll face off against quickly: Ricky Castro, Ian Mikowski, John Mencken, at least here in this first inning. Esteban Gomez batting cleanup, he's at first. Cam Stewart batting 5th, he's at second. Mark Kruger at the DH hole, he's in the 6th spot. Trevor Achenbach playing 3rd today, he's in the 7 hole. Josh McAdams in left field, supporting number 11 instead of 55 today. And then Brandon Oliver behind the dish, he rounds out the Eastside Diamond Hopper lineup. We'll see if Josh Mason deals with just 3 of these guys or how far the Eastside Diamond Hoppers will take it here in this first half inning. And we're about ready for first pitch here at Jimmy John's Field. So Ricky Castro making his way out to the batter's box from the left side. Ricky Castro out of Rappahannock Community College. Castro taking the first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner at 85 degrees. 7:04 p.m. the first pitch here this evening. 66 degrees the temperature is. Castro on the season, batting .301 coming into play today. He is in his 49th game with Eastside Diamond Hoppers in this 2017 season. The 1-1 pitch, he fouls off and is now down in the count here, 1-2. Ricky Castro out of the Dominican Republic, the only man that has come from out of this country this season. There were a couple last year, but Ricky Castro, the only man to not be born and raised in the United States of America. The 1-2 pitch, he drives to the opposite field. Out there in left is R.J. Fuhr. Fuhr, good reactionary time right there. He runs to his left and a little bit back, comes up with the first out of the ball game. Castro is retired. So if with that fly out, Ian Mikowski now stands in here. Mikowski batting just .212 on the season coming into play today. Looks at a called strike on the inside part of the plate to start off this one. Mentioned Josh Mason in his first start against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers this season, as he misses the zone just barely there to even the count up at 1-1. But his first overall start, we'll see how long he can go here today against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. The 1-1 pitch, Mikowski fouls off. Tried to take it the other way, but one thing I have to mention here, it was Military Appreciation Night at the ballpark. Both teams wearing their camo jerseys. And on the 1-2 pitch, Ian Mikowski gets rung up. A really nice fastball on the outside corner at 87 miles an hour out of the right hand of Josh Mason. Gets Ian Mikowski looking quickly. 2 up, 2 down here to start off this ball game. mentioned, Josh Mason coming into play today, a 4-1 record with a 2.59 ERA through 20 games played with the Westside Wolly Mammoths. But just his third start overall, he's got a 1-1 record in games started. He started on August the 27th as John Mencken, the next batter, looks at a called strike one in the outside corner. Got the victory through 5 innings against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers on that 27th of August as the count evens at 1-1 with a ball low and inside. And then earlier on August the 19th, he ended up getting the loss in a 4.2 innings worth of work. Lost to the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers 4-0. Back on that August the 19th, he gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, just one of them earned. But in that 5-0 victory back on the 27th, he gave up no runs, just 2 hits, had 3 strikeouts and 2 walks through 5 innings pitched. We'll see how far he can go here tonight as Mencken falls off another one. He's down in the count here 1-2 as Josh Mason looks for his 1-2-3 inning here in the first. Instead, the 1-2 pitch. A good stop from Nick Krause as he stopped that baseball and dove to his right side to keep that one in front of him. Count even at 2-2 here on John Mencken. Mencken out of Elmhurst, Illinois. The utility man trying to keep the Diamond Hoppers alive in this top of the first inning, and he will not be able to do that. A soft ground ball right back to the pitcher, Josh Mason. He softly lobs that one over to first base for the third and final out. We're halfway through the first inning in this one. We're still scoreless as the Mammoths will have their first opportunity at the plate here. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to game 68 of 71. Tanner Keast out on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. As the ball gets tossed down to second base, let's quickly give you Keast's numbers on the season. He's still looking for his first decision in this 2017 season. He has appeared 9 times in a Diamond Hopper uniform this year. 7 of those 9 appearances starts, making his 8th on the season. Through the first 9 games, he's got a 3.25 ERA, 36 innings pitched. He's got 66 strikeouts to just 31 walks while giving up 24 hits against the opposition. Jalen Lawson stands in for the Westside Wolly Mammoths to begin this bottom of the first inning. He looks at a ball on the outside half to start off this night for Tanner Keast. Keast, the 1-0 pitch, missing just high and outside as well. The count quickly going to 2-0 on Lawson. Lawson last night against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in a night that Randy Wynn completely dominated. Lawson really one of the only guys that hit well. He did go 1 for 4 on the night. Not the greatest of ball games as he looks at ball 3 here. Quickly 3 straight balls to start this night off for Tanner Keast. But Lawson on the evening last night, outside of the 2 strikeouts, he did have a solo shot. But that was really only mistake that Randy Wynn had had all night long on that solo shot from Lawson. Lawson looks at a called strike. A good hitter's count coming up here with the 3-1 offer. Keast, the pitch, the swing and miss right there from Lawson brings the count full. And the payoff pitch will ensue here for Tanner Keast. Tanner Keast had just one previous outing against the Westside Wolly Mammoths as Jalen Lawson chases after one outside. And just like that, one up, one down, Tanner Keast has his first strikeout of the night. Did not take him long. The last outing that Tanner Keast had against this Westside Wolly Mammoth team was on July the 19th. He threw just one inning. Gave up an earned run on 2 hits in the 5-4 victory. Had a strikeout as well. Kent Blackstone, the next batter here, standing from the left side. Looks at a called strike to begin this one, and then looks at a called ball outside that evens it up at 1-1. Blackstone, the 1-800-Hanson's player of the game. A lucky fan will get a gift card pending what happens here with Blackstone's night. The 1-1 pitch, almost getting a piece of Blackstone. He getting out of the way of that one just in the nick of time, makes the count 2-1 here on the left-handed hitter out of Vienna, Virginia. The swing and miss from Blackstone's bat evens this one up at 2-2. Just like that, he's one strike away from getting the second consecutive strikeout out of the hand of Tanner Keast. Keast, the long wind-up, the pitch, swung on and missed. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for the Westside Wolly Mammoths here. Tanner Keast looking sharp early on. So Thomas Fiesel now stands in. Fiesel, the only Westside Wolly Mammoths with more than one hit last night against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and Randy Wynn. Fiesel looks at a called strike to begin his night this evening, but last evening he went 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a stolen base, and also reached on a walk. So he had reached 3 times in 4 at-bats last night on his birthday, mind you. And we'll see if the success continues for Fiesel, coming into play today with a 284 batting average, or excuse me, a 308 batting average. A 1-1 pitch, getting enough of the outside corner, a called strike from the home plate umpire. Fiesel will now have to protect. Down in the count here, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, Fiesel swings and misses on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tanner Keast checking that scoreboard out to see exactly how fast that pitch was, but a beautiful outing here thus far through 3 batters for Tanner Keast. Strikes out the side, and we're through 1, scoreless between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Westside Wolly Mammoths. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to game number 68 of 71. The 26 and 23 Eastside Diamond Hoppers and 21 and 29 Westside Wolly Mammoths going toe-to-toe here in this one. A couple of 1-2-3 innings for both starting pitchers, Tanner Keast and Josh Mason. Keast with 1 strikeout through the first 3 men he faced, but Tanner Keast with a perfect 3 for 3 in that first half inning of work when it comes to strikeouts. Esteban Gomez, the next batter for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, stands in here, even in the count at 1-1. And on that 1-1 pitch, he drives a baseball high in the zone and out there into right field, where Alex Abbott picks up a baseball, and our first hit of the game and first base runner of the ball game goes to Esteban Gomez. He leads off this second inning with a no-out single. So Gomez reaches in his first plate appearance on the evening, and that'll bring up Cam Stewart. Stewart having an incredible year at the plate. Stewart, through his first 45 games with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, batting .318. He's got 55 hits in 173 at-bats. The first pitch he sees in this at-bat goes in the dirt. Nick Kraus stops it. Doesn't initially get control of it, but did enough to keep it in front of him, and more importantly, keep Esteban Gomez over there at first base. Calls time, gets a new ball to his pitcher. Stewart ready for the 1-0. The 1-0 pitch looked to be a changeup that missed just low and outside. Stewart has worked the count 2-0. Mentioned how this is the first Saturday of the 2017 college football season. Stewart on the 2-0 pitch. He fouls off, and that one goes out of play. But one game just going final. The Michigan Wolverines taking care of the Florida Gators. The 11th seed beating the 17th seed by a final score of 33-7. But overall, a good ball game between the two clubs. Stewart, meanwhile, on the 2-1 pitch. He looks at a third ball here as that one misses high and out of the zone. Stewart out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, trying to give the Hoppers their second consecutive hit in this top of the second inning off of Josh Mason. And in fact, they might get it. A fly ball out there to left field. That is R.J. Fuhrer, but he comes up with the catch for the first out in this second inning. And the base runner, Esteban Gomez, will have to trot back to first. So Cam Stewart's retired for the first out in this second inning. That brings up Mark Kruger, the designated hitter. Mark Kruger out of Draper, Utah. Stands in from the left side. 1 out, 1 on in this top of the second inning between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and Westside Wolly Mammoths. Wolly Mammoths sitting in 4th place and will be in that 4th spot when the season ends. Mark Kruger looks at ball 1 to start this at-bat off in the dirt. But the Eastside Diamond Hoppers playing for something here today. They're sitting at 26-23 in the 2017 season, just 1 game back of the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Both teams with 23 losses on the year, but the Beavers with 2 more wins. And it's going to be an exciting one to see the rest of the way. Kruger looks at second consecutive ball. He's ahead in the count 2-0. And Josh Mason going to have to keep this pitch a little low in the batter's eye, but instead he had it low, but did not get a strike. That one missing outside. Kruger has worked the 3-0 count. Mentioned we're in game number 68 of 71. After today's game, the Diamond Hoppers will play against the Unicorns tomorrow. Beavers and Unicorns go at it on Sunday. And then the final regular season of the game next Thursday, the Westside Wolly Mammoths and these Diamond Hoppers will play one final time in the regular season. But still trying to figure out who will get that 2 seed, if it will in fact be the Eastside Diamond Hoppers or Utica Unicorns. Still a lot left to be decided. Kruger, who looked at a 3-0 strike, looks at a 3-1 strike as well, and just like that, after working a 3-0 count, Josh Mason has fought back in this battle. The runner on first is Esteban Gomez. The batter at the plate is Mark Kruger. Keeping an eye on the base runner was Mason, making sure Gomez wasn't going anywhere. Gomez on the season, 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts, so probably smart to keep an eye on him, especially in a full count opportunity here. He is going to second on this one, and Kruger battling in this count, fouls off another one and stays alive, but Esteban Gomez will have to retreat. Just 13 pitches through the first 3 batters in that first initial inning for Josh Mason. 12 in this inning as he sits at the 25 mark. And we'll do this full count pitch all over again. The runner going from first to second. The strikeout at the plate, but no throw him out over there at second. The base umpire, Gary Wagenschutz, right there at the bag. A bang-bang play at second base, and apparently Esteban Gomez must have just gotten a hand in there. Now Shane McCaddy coming out to talk with Gary Wagenschutz out there in the field. Wagenschutz had a really good position on that play at second base, but it looked as if that ball had beaten Gomez to second base, but apparently Gomez had either swam around the tag or simply the tag was just not made. The ball definitely beat him there on a bang-bang opportunity, but Gomez gets stolen base number 4 on the season. So a runner now in scoring position. There is a strikeout on that play meanwhile. Strikeout number 2 on the night for Josh Mason. Next batter that Mason faces off against is Trevor Achenbach. Achenbach playing at third base today. Achenbach out of Billings, Montana. Far away from home is Mr. Achenbach. Achenbach batting .273 through his first 13 games with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as he fouls off a pitch right there. He's got 9 hits and 33 at-bats. He's came in to score 9 times while driving in 4 himself. Just 1 walk on the season to 11 strikeouts. He's down in the count here 0-2, but with an opportunity to drive in the game's first run. The 0-2 pitch, fastball high and outside, chased after by Achenbach. The 3rd strikeout on the game for Josh Mason, and the 2nd consecutive ends the top of the 2nd inning. We're halfway through 2 here at Jimmy John's Field between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and Westside Wolly Mammoths. We're still scoreless, looking for the game's first run. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast, game number 68 of 71 here at Jimmy John's Field in this 2017 season. Rich Borland here with you as Tanner Keast heads out for his 2nd inning of work. He had struck out the side in the top of the first inning, or excuse me, the bottom of the first inning. Jalen Lawson, Kent Blackstone, and Thomas Fiesel, the first 3 victims, but right on cue, A line drive off the bat of Alex Abbott on the 1-0 count gives the Westside Woolly Mammoths their first hit of the ball game. And just like that, a good threat to start off this bottom of the second. 9 strikes on 15 pitches for Tanner Keast in that first inning. 2 pitches here in this second, both a ball and a strike to his credit, but now he's going to have to deal with his first base runner of the night, and now Ethan Whisker stands in for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. He was 1 for 3 last night against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers with a single, a walk, and a strikeout. He looks at a called strike to begin this at-bat here against Tanner Keast. On the season, Ethan Whisker batting just .189 through his first 30 games with this Westside team. An ugly swing on the 0-1 brings him down all the way to an 0-2 count here. He's got 21 hits and 111 at-bats. He's came in to score 8 times while driving in 16. The 0-2 pitch, Whisker chases after one, and through the first 5 men that Tanner Keast has faced, he has struck out 4 of them. Let's quickly look at Tanner Keast's stats here in this entire season. He definitely loves to strike people out, and understandable with his high command. He's got a lot of good stuff coming out of that right arm of his. He's got the speed as well as the movement, kind of everything you want in a pitcher. 94-mile-an-hour fastball to start off. Joe Davis on the outside half misses the zone. He has quickly worked the 1-0 count against Tanner Keast, but Tanner Keast had 2 separate starts, August the 10th and August the 18th, where he had 12 strikeouts, once against the Beavers and once against the Unicorns. And then he also had 2 11 starts right on the outside ends of both of those 2 games. On August the 4th, he had 11 strikeouts, and then on the 24th, he had 11 as well. 3 of those 4 games with the double-digit strikeouts were wins. The 9-4 win on August the 24th, he went 6 innings. August the 18th, he went 6 innings as well in the 14-5 victory over the Unicorns. And then August the 10th against those Beavers, he went 6 innings strong while giving up just the 2 earned runs in the 5-3 victory. Joe Davis, who had worked the count 2-0 after the meeting on the mound between the catcher, that was Brandon Oliver, and the pitcher, Tanner Keast. He finds the strike zone here once again. Now the count 2-1 on Joe Davis out of Santa Cruz, California. The 2-1 pitch, a slider missing low and away. Davis not chasing after that one, but he has worked himself a really good hitter's count with 1 out here in this bottom of the second. The 3-1 pitch swung on and lifted shallow into right field. Underneath it, trying to make the diving catch is John Mencken. The shortstop, Cam Stewart, actually falling over him in a collision. It looks like Cam Stewart might have gotten the worst of that one as he is down on one knee and grabbing his other. Seems as if John Mencken's okay out there in right field, but Cam Stewart clearly in some pain. He is jogging back to his position out there from the outfield grass to the infield dirt, but clearly battling something right now. We'll see if any trainers come out to talk with him. He seems to be not needing any attention, but Gary Wagenschutz, the field umpire, noticing Cam is battling some pain right now, but we'll see if Paul Nochi, the head coach and manager of this Eastside team, wants anything checked on. Instead, nothing doing. Runners now on the corners with just 1 out here, and Riley Palmer coming up to the plate. So a clutch single there from Joe Davis puts runners on the corners here with just 1 out in this bottom of the second inning. Riley Palmer looks at a called strike to begin this at-bat. He didn't have a hit last night. He went 0 for 3, had a strikeout against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and Randy Wynn. The 0-1 pitch, a fastball high in the zone. Chased after it was Palmer. He could not catch up to that 95-mile-an-hour fastball out of the hand of Tanner Keast. Randy Wynn pitched tremendously well against this Westside team last night in the 2-1 victory. And it looks as if Tanner Keast has given the Westside Woolly Mammoths some troubles here tonight as well. Through the first 6 batters he's faced, 4 of them have gone down for Ks, but the other 2 have gotten singles. Alex Abbott and Joe Davis out there on the base pass for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. But if Riley Palmer puts one on the ground here in the infield, a good opportunity for the Eastside team to come up with a double play. And on the 1-2 pitch, a backdoor curveball enters Riley Palmer's home, and he gets caught looking for the second strikeout of the inning and fifth of the outing for Tanner Keast. He continues to just dominate via the strikeout fashion here, and now he'll deal with the number 8 hitter of this Westside team, Nick Kraus, the catcher. "29 pitches on the night for Tanner Keast as he comes up to this at-bat with Nick Kraus. As I say that, the first pitch of the at-bat gets past the catcher. A ball that missed high and outside. Not sure how they'll rule this one, but coming in to score, Alex Abbott picking up a heads-up play right there for the first run of the ball game. Tough spot right there for Tanner Keast as well as Brandon Oliver. Not sure what they're going to rule that, if it was a pass ball or a wild pitch. Either way, a really tough break for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers right there. The Westside Wolly Mammoths take the 1-0 lead. Kraus ahead in the count, 1-0. Coming into play tonight, not the greatest of averages. Nick Kraus, through his first 24 games with this Westside team, mind you, he was a Utica Unicorn last year, got a ring, earned himself a championship crown as the man behind the dish for Utica last season. Played for about 5 games in this year before he transferred over to the Westside team as they needed some help behind the dish. And Kraus has done that at least behind the plate so far this season. Like I mentioned, batting just 158 through 24 games. He's got 9 hits and 57 at-bats. Not the greatest of numbers offensively, but Kraus trying to help his team out here. He's got a 3-0 count already, and he's worked the 4-pitch walk. And not only that, but the 4th pitch of the at-bat gets past the catcher here once again. And moving from second to third is Joe Davis. So runners on the corners here now in this 1-0 game. 2 outs still on the board. Tanner Keast now having to deal with the number 9 hitter for this Westside team, R.J. Fuhr, batting .202 through his first 28 games with this Westside Wolly Mammoth squad. Looks at a called strike on the outside corner to start off this at-bat. Opportunity, though, knocking on the door for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Runners on the corners, an 0-1 count to R.J. Fuhr, 2 outs on the board. Tanner Keast trying to limit the damage as he's already given up a run in this inning. The 0-1 pitch to Fuhr, a bending breaking ball, falls into the zone. R.J. Fuhr can do nothing but admire it as that one falls into the strike zone. Fuhr going to have to battle and protect and try and take the ball the other way here now. The 0-2 pitch, fastball in the strike zone on the outside half. R.J. Fuhr not able to even come close to touching that one. Another striking out of the side for Tanner Keast. Every out getting retired via the K. The Mammoths leave runners on the corners in the bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. They lead it 1-0 here on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here into game number 68 of 71 of this regular season in the USPBL. Rich Borland here alongside you. Josh Mason out for his third inning of work. He faced 7 batters through the first 2 frames. 3 strikeouts to his credit. No walks yet for the right-hander, Josh Mason, out of Chesapeake, Virginia. He struck out the last 2 batters he faced. He'll deal with Josh McAdams, Brandon Oliver, and back to the top of the order in Ricky Castro here in this top of the 3rd inning. McAdams, first pitch he sees, he takes a good swing on it, but can't put it anywhere in play. A foul ball starts this 3rd inning off. Mammoths up 1-0 on the Eastside team. Tanner Keast, though, he had given up the earned run, as I was notified by our official scorer, on that ball that got past the catcher, Brandon Oliver. It was in fact called a wild pitch on Tanner Keast, so the run coming in earned against the man out of Riverside Community College. See if the Eastside Diamond Hoppers can fight back for their starter, as Josh McAdams has looked at 2 straight balls and worked the 2-1 count. But how about the start for Tanner Keast? 6 Ks through the first 2 innings. Trying to match that is Josh Mason. He's got 3 Ks through the first 2, so halfway there. The 2-2 pitch out of the hand of Josh Mason misses the zone just outside. So McAdams has worked the count full as he leads off this 3rd inning here. Base is empty, no outs. And the swing and miss, nice pitch there from Josh Mason. He has thrown his 3rd consecutive strikeout in this one and his 4th of the outing. He'll deal with Brandon Oliver now, who was a part of that miscue that allowed the Westside Wolly Mammoths to score the only run of this ballgame. Mentioned today the first Saturday of college football. A couple of the big games already happening today. The number 11 Michigan Wolverines beating the Florida Gators that was ranked 17. They beat them by a final of 33-17. But the big upset, Maryland, the Terps, taking down the number 23 ranked Texas Longhorns 51-41 in an offensive onslaught. And meanwhile, Brandon Oliver on the 0-1 pitch takes a ball to the opposite field, drives it out to right for the 2nd out. Coming up with the catch, that was Alex Abbott. Quickly 2 up and 2 down here through this 3rd inning. We head back to the top of the order. Ricky Castro, 0-for-1 on the night as he flew out to left back in the 1st. But back to the football. I'm sorry, I can't stay away from it, as this is a big, big day in the sport. But outside of that, a lot of one-sided games. Oklahoma taking care of UTEP 56-7. Miami taking down Bethune-Cookman 41-13. Clemson beating Kent State by a final of 56-3. Ricky Castro looking at a ball, and the 2nd pitch of the at-bat, a ball hit in foul territory over there by the Westside dugout, and coming up with a great over-the-head catch is the 3rd baseman, Riley Palmer. He's been at first base for the most of my games called, but over there at 3rd base, showing the leather. A 1-2-3 inning for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in that 3rd. We head to the bottom half. Mammoths lead it 1-0. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Jalen Lawson already standing in quickly against Tanner Keast. He's worked an 0-2 count against Mr. Lawson as he's standing in for the second time here tonight. Lawson, when he led off the third inning last evening against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, he took 1 yard on the second slider that he had seen in the at-bat against Randy Wynn. But an 0-2 pitch, a fastball high and outside. Lawson chases after one for the second time today. He is quickly 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Not a good start to the evening for the man out of Troy, Alabama. We'll see if his teammate can pick him up here. Kent Blackstone coming up to the plate. Both him and the man on deck, Thomas Fiesel, 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout as Tanner Keast had struck out the side back in the first. And in fact, 7 outs have been recorded for the Diamond Hoppers this evening, and all of them via the strikeout. Tanner Keast is in some type of mood, and Kent Blackstone quickly swinging at the 0-1 offer. I mean, Tanner Keast barely even giving me enough time to describe what's going on. He is working very, very fast. The 0-1 pitch, Blackstone looks at high and outside. And now I'm being told, as the scoreboard keeps changing on me real quick, the count 1-2 as we speak on Blackstone. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. A big bender out of the hand of Tanner Keast. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? We're seeing some history being made right here. All 8 outs have been recorded via the K here for Tanner Keast in this one. What an outing so far, even though he's down 1-0. And speaking of a shocking statistic, the USC Trojans, the number 4 team in the nation, as Thomas Fiesel looks at ball 1 to start this at-bat off, currently trailing to the Western Michigan Broncos, who lead at 21-14 with 4.5 minutes in the third. USC, though, at their own 30-yard line with the football, excuse me. So keep in mind for that score as we proceed in this one. Fiesel on the 1-0 pitch gets out of the way of the ball that missed high and inside. The count 2-0 on the right-hander. Fiesel ahead in the count 2-1 after looking at a called strike one, but swinging and missing at the 2-1 offer has evened the count up at 2-2. And possibly history being made here for Tanner Keast. If he can strike out this man right here, he will have struck out the side in the first and the third inning, both on the top 3 hitters in this Mammoth lineup. Had a little issue in the second with a couple of singles in the walk, but also struck out 3 men in that inning. The count has worked full for Thomas Fiesel. We'll see if Tanner Keast can get the job done. A fastball gets fouled off, and we'll have to do it here all over again. Thomas Fiesel coming into play today with a team-leading .308 batting average. He's got 24 hits and 78 at-bats through the first 22 games of the season with this Westside squad. And staying alive in the count, just getting a piece of that baseball as it goes into the stands. And a great catch from a fan, barehanded, as he eats up his 10 seconds of fame and right on cue hands that baseball to a young boy behind him in the stands. Can't really ask for much more from that. Nice job right there, kind sir. And as I say that, a foul ball once again from Fiesel. He has worked, let's count them real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches in this at-bat. Pitch number 9 about to ensue. And this so far, the toughest test of the night for Tanner Keast. The 3-2 pitch, a curveball, not in the zone, just dropping out of it right there. A really good at-bat from Thomas Fiesel. He reaches base safely here with 2 outs in this bottom of the third inning. So the 2-out walk for Thomas Fiesel brings up Alex Abbott, the one of 2 men who have reached base with a base knock in this one. Abbott, the only man to come in to score in this ball game for either team. Trying to do something with the bat here and stay perfect in this game here this evening. The The first pitch Abbott sees, he swings right through in the count. 0-1, down he goes. Abbott with the third best batting average coming into play today, 270 through his first 46 games. He's got 43 hits and 159 at-bats coming into play today. So technically he's 44 of 160 on the year. 21 runs he has came in and 28 he has brought in himself. The 0-1 pitch that Alex Abbott had looked at. Thomas Feasel, meanwhile, getting a stolen base right there. Thomas Feasel on the season coming into play tonight had 3 stolen bases on 4 attempts, and he gets his 4th steal on 5 attempts here in this one right there. He's now on his way from second to third with a good lead. Count 1-1 on Abbott. The 1-1 pitch, a called strike on the inside corner. Abbott thought it was a little too far inside, a little disagreement there between him and the home plate umpire, but just like that, Tanner Keast looking for his 9th strikeout of the game, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're only here in this 3rd inning. Abbott 1 for 1 on the night with a single, but trying to drive in a run here. Instead, he looks at a curveball and ends up getting past the catcher, Brandon Oliver, but home plate umpire saying that it, in fact, got a piece of Abbott, so he gets hit by a pitch. Feasel, who was trying to go from second to third, will most likely have to come back, but he's still standing over there at third base as the home plate and first base umpire are coming together to talk about the situation. And would you look at that? Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Base umpire Gary Wagenschutz stating that he had not seen the ball ricochet off of Alex Abbott, the batter here. And so it looks like Feasel will be able to reach third base here, as Shane McCaddy is now pleading his case, trying to figure out what he wants to argue with. And it looks like they're going to take the runner, Thomas Feasel, back to second base. Understanding the question here from the Wolly Mammoths, if there's no hit by pitch, no dead ball was called, he has to have the right to go to third base. But I guess what the home plate umpire is explaining right now to Mr. Abbott at home plate is as they are having a conversation, he's probably explaining that since time was called, thinking that it was a hit by pitch, he could not advance to third, so he automatically has to go back to second. And right on cue, Tanner Keast with his 9th strikeout in this ball game. All 9 outs have been retired via the K for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in this ball game. The Mammoths, though, leading it 1-0. We head to the 4th here on the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Mikowski leading the way for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as we start this fourth inning. Back out to pitch for the Westside Wolly Mammoths is Josh Mason in his fourth inning of work. He'll deal with Mikowski, Mencken, and Gomez here in this fourth inning. Mikowski has already worked a 2-0 count, and he looks at his third straight. This one falling in the strike zone, bringing the count to 2-1. Mikowski back in the first inning had struck out. He got caught looking. That was the first of 4 strikeouts on the night for the man on the mound. That is Mason. The 2-1 pitch missing the zone just outside, and Mikowski has worked the count 3-1. A good hitter's count here. The 3-1 pitch, two-seamer, outside corner, just missing the zone. Good call there from the home plate umpires. That ball had tailed just outside at the last possible moment, and Mikowski has reached base safely for the first time here tonight. Second base runner to reach for this Eastside team in this one. The only other was back in that second inning when Esteban Gomez, the man now on deck, led off the second inning with a single, got to second on a stolen base. But outside of that, every batter has been retired up until Mikowski right there. And now John Mencken stands in. He grounded out to Mason back in the first inning. That ended it. He's in here now with a base runner on. Looks at a ball that misses outside to start off this at-bat. John Mencken out of Elmhurst, Illinois. He is in right field this evening. On the 1-0 pitch, Mencken lifts one into right field. The runner, that was Mikowski, was trying to go from first to second with a stolen base, but he's going to have to travel all the way back as that ball lofted out into right was caught by Alex Abbott for out number 1. Mikowski back there at first. So now Esteban Gomez stands in here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Mentioned he has the only hit on the night for this team. Got all the way to second with a stolen base, but could not get brought in as Cam Stewart, Mark Kruger, and Trevor Achenbach all were retired after him in that second inning. He's up here now with 1 out and 1 on. Over there at first base is Mikowski. Time called here from the man at the plate. Gomez readjusting right there. Mikowski on the season, 12 stolen bases. He has yet to have been caught, and right on cue, he's going towards second base. A good throw over there, but just short. A one-hopper to the shortstop, Kent Blackstone of the Westside Wolly Mammoths. The throw on line from Nick Kraus, but just short. Like I mentioned, a bang-bang play over there at second base. A perfect 13 of 13 for Mr. Mikowski on the season. He's now in scoring position. Esteban Gomez looking at ball 1 to start off this at-bat. He's now got an opportunity to drive in a run as the speedster Mikowski stands in scoring position here. Gomez thinking that Josh Mason is taking a little too long out there on the mound. Now with a runner at second base, obviously Kraus having to give more signs than normal. Gomez with a short leash at the plate. The 1-0 pitch, a curveball that, well, simply just did not curve into the strike zone. Gomez has worked the count 2-0. An open base over there at first. Wouldn't be the worst thing to see a walk here if you're the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Infield, outfield for the most part at normal depth. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and hit high and shallow in the field of play. The shortstop, Blackstone, going back about 5 feet into that outfield grass and coming up with the catch for out number 2. He retires Esteban Gomez, and now Cam Stewart will stand in. Stewart on the night, 0 for 1 when he flew out for the first out in the inning back in that second inning. Mikowski going from second to third, That looked to be a hit-and-run type of scenario for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, trying to get something going. But Stewart, on the first pitch he sees, flies out to center this time. Diamond Hoppers threatened with that leadoff walk and stolen base from Mikowski, but can't get anything out of it. They trail it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to game number 68 of 71 in this 2017 USPBL season. Rich Borland here with you. Westside Wolly Mammoths in front of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, 1-0. As we look on to this bottom of the fourth inning, Ethan Whisker stands in from the right side, looks at called strike one out of the hand of Tanner Keast to start this at-bat, and would you look at that, a ball being put into play against Tanner Keast for the first time tonight when it comes to getting an out recorded. 9 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, and Ethan Whisker finally gets retired in a different format right there. He grounds out to the third baseman, Trevor Achenbach, for the first out here in this fourth inning. The first out recorded for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, not via the strikeout. Tanner Keast, as mentioned, with 9 Ks through the first 3 innings of work. I'm trying to look through some of these personal stats. Joe Davis looking at a called strike one right there on the outside corner. Looking at some of the strikeout leaders in this league. A couple of names that pop up as Joe Davis fouls off the second pitch he sees. Randy Wynn, season high, looks to be 12 strikeouts. That was back against these Wolly Mammoths on August the 19th. Donnie Murray had 2 outings where he had 10 strikeouts apiece. Tanner Keast, like I mentioned, with a couple of outings with 12 Ks and a couple more with 11, as Joe Davis looks at ball 1 in this count. Keast with a good delivery as Davis fouls off the pitch right there, staying alive in the count, still at 1-2. But keep in mind, we might have some history here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, pending how many more strikeouts this man, the right-hander, out of Riverside Community College. Davis fouls off another one here. Coming into this fourth inning, though, Tanner Keast with 57 pitches already. That's bound to happen when you have that many strikeouts. He also had 2 walks coming into this inning. The 1-2 pitch missing outside, getting out of the glove of Brandon Oliver. Evens the count up at 2-2. Two-two pitch just missing the zone. Not sure exactly where it had as Oliver bends over in disbelief on that called ball. But either way, the count has rung full here against Davis. The payoff pitch waiting to ensue for the right-hander out of Riverside Community College. The 3-2 pitch to Davis, fouled off once again and out of play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches in this at-bat here for Davis. Tanner Keast with tons of strikeouts on the night, but got to imagine he might only be able to go 5 innings, depending how many pitches he throws here. The payoff pitch, 3-2 fastball, missing the zone outside. Tanner Keast shaking his head out there on the mound, but that pitch definitely far enough outside to be called a ball. And only the 1, 2, 3, 4th runner on base for the Westside Wolly Mammoths in this one. The 3rd walk of the night for Tanner Keast. A good opportunity, though, for him to get a ground ball, possibly off the bat of Riley Palmer for a double play. Last time Palmer struck out looking back in that 2nd inning. Palmer looking at ball 1. Ball that missed on the outside corner. Checked his swing but did not go around, says field umpire Gary Wagenschutz. Palmer on the 1-0, looks at a curveball that does not drop in the zone low enough. He's worked the count here 2-0. Tanner Keast looking for strikeout number 10 on the evening. Still got a way to go here in this at-bat. Palmer on the 2-0 pitch. Fouls one off down the right field line, does the left-hander. He stays in this count here. The runner over at first is Joe Davis. Let's peep and see if Mr. Davis has any stolen bases on this season. And in fact, he does not. He's actually 0 for 1. So not a lot of credit on the base pass for Mr. Davis. He's out of Santa Cruz, California. He'll most likely be staying put here. He does, in fact. He's not going anywhere, but a base hit into right field off the bat of Riley Palmer. Joe Davis was thinking about going all the way to third base, but holds off at second. After that first ground out off the bat of Ethan Whisker, a walk to Joe Davis and a single off the bat of Riley Palmer have the Mammoths in business here in this bottom of the fourth inning. One out with runners on first and second against Tanner Keast. .72 pitches on the evening for Tanner Keast. Going to keep in mind that pitch count all night long. Couple of runners on here with one out in this bottom of the fourth inning. Nick Krause stands in for his second time tonight. He hits a ground ball up the middle. Tanner Keast waiting for the shortstop, Ricky Castro, to get to the bag. The connection is made at second, and then over to first, the relay. Ricky Castro to the man, Esteban Gomez, for the third and final out. The threat for the Mammoths quickly taken out by the man on the mound, Tanner Keast and company. We head to the top of the fifth inning. Mammoths lead it 1-0 over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to game number 68 of 71 of this 2017 regular season of the USPBL. Diamond Hoppers trailing 1-0 behind the Westside Wolly Mammoths as we look on to this fifth inning. Mark Kruger, Trevor Achenbach, and Josh McAdams due up for Team Eastside here to start off this top of the fifth inning. Kruger 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout back in the second inning. Fouls off the first pitch he sees here against the starter, Josh Mason, who's out for his fifth inning of work. Through the first 4 innings, he's got 49 pitches, 29 for strikes. He's got 4 Ks to 1 walk. And Mark Kruger on the 0-1 count hits a hard ground ball over to the right side of the field where Joe Davis comes up with the 3U out there on the field for out number 1. He retires Kruger all on his own. So I was trying to dive into some stats, strikeout-wise at least, and I really could not find any other individual with more than 12 Ks in a ball game. Tanner Keast twice this year had struck out 12 batters in 2 separate outings, as Trevor Achenbach, the next man at the plate for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, fouls off the first pitch he sees, just like Kruger had done in the previous at-bat. But possibility of some history here this evening. 9 strikeouts through the first 4 innings of play for Tanner Keast of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, but he is already at 73 pitches through the first 4 innings of work as Achenbach fouls off the second pitch of the at-bat. He's quickly down in the count 0-2. But Tanner Keast, if he reaches 13 strikeouts in this ball game. That would be a USPBL record. The 0-2 pitch, fastball high and outside, missing the zone. Count going to 1-2, still in favor of Josh Mason. Nobody on, one out here in this top of the fifth inning. Mason with the changeup in the dirt at 75 miles an hour. Nothing doing against Achenbach. He holds off on that one. The count evens up at 2-2. Achenbach on the season, batting .238 in his time with this Eastside team. On the 2-2 pitch, he lost one out into right field, making the catch on the warning track. Out there in right field is Alex Abbott. A long fly ball, but only good enough for out number 2. He needed about 10 more feet to cruise over the wall and give the Westside team a 2-0 lead. But just a second out here in this top of the fifth. Josh McAdams now will be standing in for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here with nobody on and 2 out. First pitch thrown to McAdams, a called strike down the heart of the plate. McAdams on the night 0 for 1 with a strikeout as he went down swinging on a full count effort back to start off the third inning for the Eastside team. And swinging right through the second pitch of the at-bat is McAdams. One pitch away here from a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch, missing low and outside in the dirt. Catcher Nick Kraus trying to get most of that one, but the ball trickling right through his legs slowly, so he made contact, but thankfully for the Westside team, nobody was on base. Pitch number 60 on the night, out of the hand of Josh Mason, gets put into play over to the left side, and a bad throw all over to the left. The first baseman, Joe Davis, initially caught that baseball offline down the first baseline towards home plate, and connection was made between Josh McAdams and the glove of Joe Davis over there at first. In fact, Josh McAdams went down on the play as he was going down the line. Everybody seems to be okay physically as of this second. McAdams looks like he reaches on that infield single right there. We'll see what the ruling is. And in fact, I take it back. They will give it an error over there to, I'm assuming, the shortstop. That was Kent Blackstone out of George Mason continuing this inning. So an E6 on the board. Tough spot right there for the Westside Wolly Mammoths, forcing Josh Mason to throw more pitches. Runner on first is McAdams. Keeping an eye on him is Mason, throwing over to first base. McAdams on the season, no stolen bases, did get caught stealing once so far this year. A 1 pitch inside, just missing the zone there on Oliver. Count is even at 1-1. Oliver on the night 0 for 1 as he flew out to right field back in the third inning as a part of one of the 1-2-3 innings on the night for Josh Mason. Outside of that, he has only faced 4 batters in both the second and fourth innings. If he allows Brandon Oliver to reach safely, this will be the first 5 batter innings for the right-hander. He's trying to keep that trend alive as the 1-1 pitch gets swung on and missed out of the hand of Brandon Oliver. He's down in the count here quickly, 1-2, as he's down to his final strike. Once again, keeping an eye on the man over at first base is Josh Mason. I mentioned no stolen bases yet on the year for McAdams. Mason with the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Brandon Oliver goes down for the second time tonight. First via the K, and an E6 goes unscathed for the Diamond Hoppers in the top of the fifth inning. We head to the home half. Mammoths lead it 1-0. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this home half of the 5th inning. Rich Borland here with you on the call. R.J. Fuhr standing in for this Westside team to start off this home half. Fuhr on the night, 0 for 1 with a strikeout when he ended the 2nd inning swinging and missing on 3 straight pitches. Fuhr works the count 1-0 in his favor to begin this at-bat and then chases after one. A fastball on the outside corner evens the count up at 1-1. But Tanner Keast in some type of mood here this evening. R.J. Fuhr swinging and missing at the 2nd strike of the at-bat. He's down in the count 1-2, but 9 strikeouts for Tanner Keast. His season high and possibly USPBL high with 12 Ks in 2 separate starts. He's still 3 away from tying that one in this outing as R.J. Fuhr hits a ground ball to the left side of the infield, where Ricky Castro comes up with one cleanly on the run inside and throws it over to first base for the first out in this home half of the 5th. Back to the top of the order we go for this Westside team. Jalen Lawson trying to not strike out for the 3rd consecutive time in this one here tonight. 0 for 2 with a couple of swinging strikeouts. He looks at a ball way out of the zone. So far, in fact, that it gets away from the catcher. That is Brandon Oliver out of Western Oregon University. Lawson ahead in the count here, 1-0. Taking a big cut, but getting nothing out of it. Fastball chased upon, and it evens the count up at 1-1. Lawson trying to avoid that sombrero if he does, in fact, strike out here. The 1-1 pitch, fastball outside corner. Lawson getting froze up on that one. A perfect pitch out of the hand of Tanner Keast. He retired the first 9 men in 3 innings via the strikeout. Outside of those 9 Ks, a couple of men had reached base safely. And would you look at that, Jalen Lawson putting the ball in play at the last second, putting one down that right field line just fair for the 4th hit of the ball game for this Westside team. A 1-out single from Jalen Lawson has the Mammoths in action here in this home half of the 5th. Ken Blackstone now standing in for his 3rd time tonight. Just like Lawson coming into this 5th inning, had struck out twice in the ball game. We'll see if Ken Blackstone's night turns around like Lawson's just had. Lawson over there at first base with some speed on the run on this hit, but will have to go back to first. A really well swung bat out of the hands of Ken Blackstone. He hits a liner out there into right field where John Mankin comes up with the catch for out number 2. A good piece of hitting from Ken Blackstone, just not in the right area. Line drive out right there for out number 2, retires him and brings up the birthday boy from yesterday, Thomas Fiesel. Fiesel on the night, 0 for 1 with a strikeout as a part of that 3 strikeout inning that led this ball game off in the 1st for Tanner Keast. But since then, Fiesel reached on a walk in the 3rd with 2 outs, stole a base. The nasty curveball on the 0-1 to Fiesel bends in for a strike. Looked for the longest time that it was about to hit Thomas Fiesel, but it falls in quickly down in the count. He is here 0-2. That curveball at 75 miles an hour. Wouldn't be shocked to see a fastball here. In fact, there it is in the dirt. A good throw from catcher's position over there to second base. Ricky Castro picking it up, but Jalen Lawson just too much speed on the base pass. That is Jalen Lawson's, let's double check this here, 6th stolen base of the season. He's a perfect 6 of 6. A nice throw there from Brandon Oliver, but once again, just short of getting that connection over there on the base pass. The count 1-2 on the batter, Thomas Fiesel, looking for his 10th strikeout of the game is the pitcher, Tanner Keast, and he will, in fact, just get that. Thomas Fiesel goes down looking to end this 5th inning. He disagrees with the call from the home plate umpire as they are still having a conversation at home plate. But just like that, the Wolly Mammoths go down in the 5th. After 5 innings of play, they lead it 1-0 here on the USPBL YouTube channel.
Number 7, Ricky Castro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this top of the 6th inning. Eastside Diamond Hoppers trailing this one by a score of 1-0 behind the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Eastside Diamond Hoppers just a game back on the league-leading Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And Ricky Castro trying to get on base himself right there in this one with an bunt opportunity, but it ricochets off his own body, and he'll have to go back into the batter's box. A little bit of technical difficulties as I have to refresh the page here. Sorry about that, graphic-wise. We're now in this top of the 6th inning here. There we go, back at it we are. Castro, after missing that bunt attempt, looks at a ball that evens the count up at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is hit high and deep into center field. Underneath it, Thomas Fiesel making the catch for out number 1, about a couple steps back and a couple to his right for out number 1. He retires Ricky Castro with ease here in the 6th. So Ian Mikowski coming up to the plate. Struck out looking back in the 1st, reached on a walk in the 4th and stole a base. But the Eastside Diamond Hoppers still looking for their 2nd hit of the game. The only one coming off the bat of, which I found just recently, the bat of the birthday boy, Esteban Gomez. Had that single back in the 2nd. Still good enough for the only hit for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in this one. Mikowski quickly has worked the count 2-0 against Mr. Mason through the first 5 innings, as pitch number 3 of the at-bat to Mikowski misses the zone as well. Through the first 5 innings of work for Josh Mason, he had 5 Ks, 1 walk, 64 pitches, 40 of them for strikes, and just that 1 hit given up. The 3-0 pitch to Mikowski clips enough of the strike zone. Mikowski was about to toss that bat into the dugout down the first base side, but will have to stand in for at least one more pitch. He worked a 3-1 count back in the 4th that turned into a walk, but not the same story being told in this at-bat. The 3-1 pitch getting enough of the zone, and Mikowski was looking for a walk right there as he was ready to head down to first once again, but he's going to have to earn it here on this one. The 3-2 pitch swung on, taken to the opposite side of the field. Tough play for the shortstop, Kent Blackstone, and instead of an opportunity to get the runner out at first, a base knock right underneath the glove as he was on the run. It falls into the outfield with a base hit right there. 1 out, 1 on here for the for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. So John Mencken stands in for the 2nd time tonight with a runner on base. He is over 2, grounded out to the pitcher and flew out to right in his first 2 plate appearances this evening. First pitch he sees, misses high and away. Start this one off, Nick Krause having to get out of his seat that he was in behind home plate. Can't forget to mention Ian Mikowski on this season, 12 stolen bases to his credit coming into play tonight. He got steal number 13 back in that 4th inning. The 1-0 pitch missing the zone, and it's quickly gone to 2-0 here against John Mencken. So 1 out on the board in this 6th inning. Mikowski with tons of speed, a 2-0 count, maybe a good opportunity here for a hit and run action. See if Mikowski goes on the first move. He's not, in fact. He's staying over there at first base, and rightly so. The 2-0 pitch is hit high and shallow in that outfield. Jalen Lawson, who starts his movement in that outfield grass as he steps onto the infield dirt, steps right back into the outfield to make the catch for out number 2. 3 up, 2 down here in this top of the 6th inning, and the birthday boy, Esteban Gomez, who is 1 for 2 on the night with that 1 of 2 hits for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, stands in now with an opportunity with that runner on base. 1 on, 2 out in this top of the 6th inning. Esteban Gomez trying to put the Diamond Hoppers on the board. A good try for a stolen base right there, and Ian Mikowski with his 14th stolen base on the season. He is in the lead on this team. Second place is Chris Power with 10, but Power no longer playing. A really nice job there from Ian Mikowski. His 2nd stolen base on the night. He remains perfect out there on the base pass in this 2017 season. Meanwhile, Esteban Gomez looks at another ball. This one misses on the outside corner. He has worked the count 2-0. This 2-0 pitch is driven into right center field. Both Thomas Fiesel and Alex Abbott coming to it. It'll be a RBI single off the bat of the birthday boy, Esteban Gomez. He has tied this game up at 1 here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. So just like that, the birthday boy coming up clutch here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. 2 singles in the inning have been enough to drive in a run. And now Shane McCaddy will be coming out to talk with his pitcher, and we'll see if he takes the baseball away from him. Conversation being had right now. Looks as if he's going to keep him in, at least for another at-bat. A good strategical conversation being held at the mound this second. Let's take a look at who's getting loose out there for the Westside Wolly Mammoths in the bullpen as I focus my binoculars a little bit. It's definitely a left-hander, I can tell. And the number out there is it's a little bit tougher to read with these Military Appreciation Night uniforms, a little bit of different setup for the jerseys, a little bit tougher to read. And it looks like it's a teen number out there, possibly Sean Kennedy. In fact, it is Mr. Kennedy getting loose out there in the bullpen for the Wolly Mammoths, just in case things get out of hand here for the right-hander Josh Mason. First pitch to the next batter, Cam Stewart, a ball that misses the zone. Stewart on the night, a fly out to left and a fly out to center. 0 for 2 on the evening. The 1-0 pitch, Stewart fouls off, and it ricochets right off that noggin of Nick Krause behind home plate. He seems to be perfectly fine, so that's good news. Esteban Gomez on the season, 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Coming into play tonight, but had that stolen base back in the 2nd inning. So 4 of 5 for the birthday boy. The 1-1 pitch to Stewart misses the zone. The count 2-1 on the batter. We'll see if Gomez tries to take second on a good hitter's count. He's staying put over there at first. The 2-1 fastball missing the zone high, and a really good hitter's count here worked on by Cam Stewart. The 3-1 pitch, a big swing there for Cam Stewart, but nothing doing. On the payoff pitch, 3-2, runner going from first to second, and we'll do it here all once more. Stewart fouls one off. Got to mention in this little break in the action, as it is this first Saturday of September, college football in the air. The USC Trojans, the number 4 team in the nation, up just a touchdown on the Western Michigan Broncos. 35-28 with 5.5 minutes remaining in that game. Cam Stewart on the full count offer, swings and misses through a pitch for the third and final out, but the Eastside Diamond Hoppers tie this game up at 1 on that RBI single off the bat of the birthday boy Esteban Gomez. We sit at a 1-1 tie as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this bottom of the 6th inning here in game number 68 of 71 of the 2017 USPBL regular season. Rich Borland here with you. Alex Abbott of the Westside Wolly Mammoths standing in for the 3rd time this evening. He singled back in the 2nd and came in to score on a wild pitch out of the hand of Tanner Keast. Tanner Keast with 10 strikeouts through the first 5 innings. Alex Abbott, on the first pitch he sees to start off this bottom of the 6th, takes one into that 5-6 hole on the left side. Into left it goes. And Alex Abbott with his 2nd single of the night. A nice job right there for the Mammoths. 5th hit of the evening. Leadoff single for Alex Abbott gives the Mammoths some action here in this bottom of the 6th. Ethan Whisker, the next batter here for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out in the 2nd and grounded out to 3rd base in the 4th. Runner on first is Alex Abbott. The 1-0 pitch, Whisker fouls off into the netting. Let's take a look at Alex Abbott's base numbers here. 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts on the year for Alex Abbott. The 1-1 pitch out of the hand of Tanner Keast. A curveball getting away from the catcher, Brandon Oliver. Not sure which mark is going to be made here, if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball, but Abbott heads up running right there. Gets from first to second with ease. The count 2-1 on Whisker. On this pitch, a 2-1 offer. It's taken into right field. Alex Abbott rounding third, and he will come in to score with no throw. An RBI single off the bat of Ethan Whisker gives the Westside Wolly Mammoths the 2-1 lead.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Joe Davis.
Back-to-back singles to start off this sixth inning for the Westside Wolly Mammoths have put Tanner Keast in a little bit of trouble. Tanner Keast, mentioned, had only one outing previously against this Westside team. It was a relief appearance back on July the 19th where he went one inning, gave up one earned run on 2 hits, had 1 K in the 5-4 victory. But Tanner Keast on the season in his 8th start of the year and 10th overall appearance, in just his 2nd technical outing against this Westside team, first start of the year. Eastside Diamond Hoppers won the first 10 meetings between these two teams all year long. The Westside Wolly Mammoths won the most recent one. By a final of 5-3. These two teams will face off one more time in this regular season. In fact, in Game 71 of 71. So pending where the Eastside Diamond Hoppers sit coming into the last regular season game, that could mean a whole lot for them. But still having to take care of business here tonight. They're trailing at 2-1 against this Westside Wolly Mammoth team. Joe Davis, the batter here, looks at a ball to start off his at-bat and then looks at a called strike to even it up at 1-1. On the 1-1 offer, Joe Davis hits a ball high and shallow into center field. Underneath it, making the catch, is Ian Mikowski to retire Joe Davis. Finally an out getting recorded here in this home half of the 6th. Takes 3 batters to do so. .95 pitches out of the arm of Tanner Keast here in this 6th inning of work. Riley Palmer on the evening, 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. For the 3rd time all night, he's batting with a runner on base. It had been Joe Davis the previous 2 at-bats, but for the first time, he's batting with Ethan Whisker on the base pass. A called strike looms in on the inside half against Palmer. He's down in the count 1-0. Ethan Whisker on the season, just 1 stolen base to his credit, but he is perfect. He has not been caught just yet. No stolen base opportunity going right there. The 0-1 pitch to Palmer falls in the zone once again. Palmer not sure about that call, but it looked good from up here. Palmer down in the count here, 0-2 with 1 out and 1 on. Tanner Keast delivering pitch number 98, swung on and missed. Riley Palmer goes down via the strikeout. Strikeout number 11 on the night from Tanner Keast. He is on the verge of not only tying his personal record, but the USPBL record as well. No one has thrown more than 12 strikeouts in an outing, according to some of the statistical stats that I have looked at here tonight. And what an outing so far for Tanner Keast. We'll see how much longer he goes, though. A strikeout, swing and miss on pitch number 98 of the outing. Pitch number 99, a called strike that falls in the zone. A curveball against Nick Kraus, who's 0 for 1 on the night. Grounded out into that 1-6-3 double play that ended the 4th inning, courtesy of Tanner Keast. The 0-1 pitch, a curveball on the outside corner. A good, tough play over there at second base. Ricky Castro putting the hard tag on the runner, Ethan Whisker. But Whisker with too much speed right there, getting in just by the Whiskers. A bang-bang play over there at second. Second stolen base on the year for Ethan. Whisker out of Hillsdale College, now in scoring position. That 0-1 pitch to Kraus missed the zone. It evened the count up at 1-1. And then the outside curveball right there to Kraus on the 1-1 offer missed the zone as well. And he has worked the count here 2-1. Kraus last night against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers went 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. A fastball coming out of the hand of Tanner Keast at 95 miles an hour up in the strike zone. Kraus could do nothing with it but chase after it, hoping his bat would make connection with that baseball. But instead, just good enough for strike number 2. Nick Kraus possibly on the verge of striking out for the first time tonight, and in fact he does. Strikeout number 12 for Tanner Keast. He ties not only his own record, but the USPBL record with 12 Ks in an outing. We'll see if he comes back out for the 7th to try and get that record. We head to the 7th. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Mammoths lead it 2-1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this 7th inning of work. Out on the mound for the Westside Wolly Mammoths, the left-hander. A new arm on the mound. Josh Mason completely done after 6 innings of work. He had 6 Ks through the 6th inning, gave up just 1 walk and only 3 hits and the 1 run, in line for the victory here, but still a long ways to go. Just a 2-1 game as Mark Kruger is standing in for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Out on the mound for the Westside Wolly Mammoths now is Sean Kennedy. Quickly pull up his numbers as the computer loads. Sean Kennedy on the season as the payoff pitch to Mark Kruger as he has worked the full count. He fouls it off into the netting over to my left. But on the season, Sean Kennedy, a 2-8 record, 4.66 ERA through 20 games with this Westside team. Just his 6th relief appearance. He's got 15 starts on the year. The full count pitch to Mark Kruger. He chases after it and goes down for out number 1 in this one. First strikeout of the night for the man on the mound. That is Mr. Kennedy. Sean Kennedy continuing his stat line real quick. He's got 81 innings pitched coming into play tonight. And in those 81 innings, he's struck out 53 batters while walking just 25 and giving up 90 hits on the season. Trevor Achenbach, the next batter to face off against Mr. Kennedy. Sean Kennedy starts off Achenbach with a ball outside. Kennedy on the 1-0, throws a fastball on the outside corner that Achenbach fouls off and out of play. But so we caught up on the statistics. We see no arms getting loose just yet in that Eastside bullpen. Tanner Keast, if he comes back out to pitch for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in the home half of the 7th and records a strikeout, he will beat his own record with possibly 13 Ks in a game. That would be a single game record here at the USPBL. Keast already having that record twice in this season already. He had 12 strikeouts. Mentioned that earlier in the broadcast. He had 12 Ks back on the 18th of August and the 10th of August. And then just recently on the 24th against the Beavers, he had 11. A little help Keast was possibly about to get right there. Achenbach on the 3-1 pitch hits a line drive into left center field, but jumping in the air and making the catch is the shortstop, Kent Blackstone, for the second out. That is the Get It Done 1-800-Hanson's play of the game. Nice job of athleticism shown right there from the man out of George Mason University. Comes up with out number 2, a big one here for the Westside Wolly Mammoths as they cling on to this 2-1 lead in the 7th. 2 up, 2 down to start off this inning, but a high fly ball off the bat of Josh McAdams. It's actually going to be a 1-2-3 inning. McAdams hits that fly ball out to right where Alex Abbott comes up with the 3rd and final out. 3 up, 3 down in this 7th. We had to stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Mammoths up 2-1 on the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game 68 of 71. We're just past stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. We head to this home half of the 7th inning. Westside Wolly Mammoths with the 2-1 lead over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, but not the story of the game just yet. Tanner Keast already with 103 pitches going into this 7th inning, but a lot at stake here for the man that can throw the ball harder than anyone in this league. Tanner Keast early on in the season touched 99 miles an hour. That broke the USPBL record for miles per hour. Already a few broken records on the season for the man out of Riverside Community College. And Tanner Keast with a possibility of breaking another record here this evening, which he had already owned. 2 separate outings this season, August the 10th and August the 18th. Tanner Keast had thrown 12 strikeouts, both in 6 innings of work. He's going out for his longest outing of the season. He, in his last 3 starts, had made 6 innings worth of work against the Beavers twice and the Unicorns once. But for the first time this season in a start against the Westside Wolly Mammoths, the man on the mound, Tanner Keast, with an opportunity to break his own record and a USPBL record with possibly 13 strikeouts in a game, and he's just 1 strike away from completing that feat. R.J. Fuhr, the batter, fouled off the first pitch he saw and then looked at strike number 2. He's quickly down in a big hole here. He's going to try and take the ball the other way and stay alive in this count. But Tanner Keast with a possibility of history here in the USPBL. The 0-2 pitch, a curveball that drops out of the zone in the dirt. A good stop from the catcher, Brandon Oliver. But R.J. Fuhr holds the bat back and doesn't attack on that pitch. He stays alive for at least one more. The 1-2 offer from Tanner Keast. Fastball on the outside corner. A ball just outside. Evens that count up at 2-2. Nice job there from R.J. Fuhr to hold off on that one. Fuhr taking his time in the batter's box, trying to break up the rhythm here of Mr. Keast. Keast looking good, though, still, even though he's over 100 pitches. And as I say that, the 2-2 pitch is lined up the middle. R.J. Fuhr with a base hit to lead off this 7th inning for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. We'll see if Tanner Keast's night is done as I take a quick look into their bullpen real quick. Let's see if they got anybody getting loose. Tanner Keast staying in for at least one more batter here. There is a man starting to get some pitches in down in that bullpen for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Trying to get a number on it, but it is pretty tough with these men supporting their military camo uniforms. Jalen Lawson, the batter now, 1 for 3 on the night. Started off 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, but got a single and then stole a base back in the 5th inning. That's about as far as he would get. He shows bunt on the first opportunity against Tanner Keast in his 4th at-bat of the evening and pulls back on ball number 1. Tanner Keast with a nonchalant pickoff over there to keep an eye on R.J. Fuhr, but Fuhr quickly getting back in time. Fuhr on the season, 7 stolen bases in 10 total attempts, so you know he likes to run. Tanner Keast with 10 stolen base attempts, R.J. Fuhr with 10 stolen base attempts through his first 28 games with this Westside Wolly Mammoth team. Jalen Lawson showing bunt once again and pulling back. But if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Keast with an opportunity at USPBL history. He already leads the league with strikeouts in a game twice this year. He hit the 12 mark, and that's where he's at right this second. If he gets another K to his credit, that will be, in fact, the USPBL record. He already broke a record earlier in the season, touching 99 miles per hour. Tanner Keast having an incredible season for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, and shockingly, he's 0-0 when it comes to the record, but he has started, this being his 8th for the Eastside team. Lawson ahead in the count, 2-1, showing bunt here once again, and pulling back for the 3rd time in 4 pitches, as he has worked the count 3-1 here. 2-1 in favor of the Westside Wolly Mammoths. They are automatically going to be the 4 seed in this playoff picture as we are sitting in Game 68 of 71, but a lot on the line for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as they are just a game back on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers coming into play tonight. They're trying to pick up a half game as they have the same amount of losses, but 2 less wins than the Beavers. Jalen Lawson on the 3-1 pitch, swings right through one, and Tanner Keast 1 pitch away from history. Instead of trying to come to home plate with it, a quick pick over there to first base to keep an eye on R.J. Fuhr. Fuhr on the season, 7 of 10 on the base pass. We'll see if he goes here on the full count offer. He is going. The pitch thrown. Fastball down the heart of the plate. No call from the umpire. He did not call strike 3, that's for sure, but it must be ball 4. A nice bang-bang play over there at second base. No stolen base credit going to R.J. Fuhr. That was, in fact, ball 4 against Lawson right there. And it looks like Paul Noce might be taking out Tanner Keast as we speak, and no record will be getting broken here tonight. He, in fact, makes the motion towards the bullpen, and Tanner Keast's night is done. He will be coming out of this one, leaving runners on first and second with nobody out. We'll take a quick break, give you his stat line, and then let you know who's coming in to pitch for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers when we come back. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Game 68 of 71 of this 2017 USPBL season. Rich Borland here alongside you. Tanner Keast, who had looked sharp throughout this entire game, is finally done after 6+ innings worth of work. After giving up a leadoff single and then a no-out walk in this 7th inning, Tanner Keast's night officially done. He threw 114 pitches against 25 batters that he faced. He gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, but had 12 strikeouts, good enough to tie his league-leading record for the 3rd time this season. Tanner Keast with 12 Ks on the board, 114 pitches for the right-hander, and Tanner Keast giving way to Torrey DeShazer. DeShazer on the season, a 2-9 record with this Eastside team. First batter he faces off against is Kent Blackstone. Blackstone coming into this one 0-3 with a couple of strikeouts and a lineout. Chases after the first pitch he sees out of the hand of DeShazer. DeShazer throwing the next pitch in the at-bat. A bunt attempt being made there, and an underhanded backflip thrown by the pitcher, DeShazer, over to the first base area where Cam Stewart was covering, because the first baseman, that was Esteban Gomez, was also trying to pick up that loose baseball. But a little bit of a miscommunication of the PFPs right there between DeShazer and Gomez. But in the end, they get that out over there at first base for the first out on the sacrifice bunt. But runners moving from first and second to second and third on that sacrifice bunt. Out number 1 on the board here for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. The runner from third coming into home on that wild pitch. Torrey DeShazer throwing one just to the right of the catcher, Brandon Oliver, and things getting from bad to worse here for the Hoppers in this one. So a run comes in here in this 7th inning, giving the Westside Wolly Mammoths an insurance run. Runner on third is Jalen Lawson. Thomas Fiesel, the batter, after looking at that pitch, he's ahead in the count 1-0 against DeShazer. The curveball drops in for a called strike. That one evens the count up at 1-1. Thomas Fiesel on the night, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, both inning-ending strikeouts back in the 1st and the 5th, but reached on a walk in the 3rd. Also had a stolen base to his credit. Trying to drive in the 4th run of the game for the Westside Wolly Mammoths with Jalen Lawson just 90 short feet away. Instead of that, the 1-1 pitch missing outside. Count going to 2-1 in Fiesel's favor. Alex Abbott, the man who's came in to score twice this game, looming on deck for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Infield now in for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. They cannot afford to give up another run. The 2-1 pitch missing low and away here against Fiesel. He has worked himself a 3-1 good hitters count. Mentioned a crazy night of college football. A score that we were keeping up on. The Western Michigan Broncos fighting against that USC Trojan team. But at the last couple of 5 minutes, USC pulling away, getting the 49-31 victory. As I say that, the 3-1 pitch, close one. Fiesel thought it was ball 4. He threw the bat over back to the dugout and was about a third of the way to first base before he had realized the home plate umpire had called that a strike. Tough act right there for Thomas Fiesel. He'll have to stay in for at least one more pitch. Infield in here against Fiesel for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. A curveball drops in, a swing and a miss from the bat of Thomas Fiesel. He's going to have to go toss on that sombrero back in the dugout. Strikeout number 3 on the night for Mr. Fiesel. Tough at bat right there. Thought he had ball 4 instead. Swings and misses at strike 3 here for out number 2 in the 7th. Leaves Jalen Lawson at third base and possibly for the inning if Alex Abbott cannot drive him in. But like I mentioned, Alex Abbott on the night, 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout. Fiesel has came in to score twice in this game. Swinging and missing, Abbott has came in to score twice in this game. Abbott on the first pitch he sees out of the hand of DeShazer. He swings right through. He's down in the count here 0-1. But the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, as the 0-1 pitch gets called a strike on the inside corner. Down in the count quickly, Abbott is 0-2. Eastside Diamond Hoppers were coming into play today just a game back on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. They were hoping to get a victory with their man Tanner Keast on the mound. He had went a strong 6+ innings, had 12 strikeouts, tying his own league-leading record, but they cannot end up putting up some runs for him. Meanwhile, Day Shazier striking out Alex Abbott for the 3rd and final out here in the 7th, but the Mammoths get a run back. They lead it now 3-1 as we head to the top of the 8th inning here in Game 68 of the USPBL 2017 season. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this 8th inning in game 68 of 71. Just 2 more sets of at-bats for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers to try and come back in this one. Westside Wolly Mammoths leading it 3-1. The man that relieved Josh Mason, Sean Kennedy's night is done after just 1 short inning. He faced 3 batters, got that inning done in order, had 1 strikeout, a line out, and a fly out to his credit, facing the 6, 7, 8 hitters. And he gives way to Joel Sharon here for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Sharon on the season, a 2-1 record through 20 relief appearances on the year. The right-hander supports a 2.50 ERA with 2 saves in 18 innings pitched. He has 27 strikeouts while retiring 16 walks and 17 hits against him. Joel Sharon with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, low and inside to Brandon Oliver, starts off this 8th inning. Oliver ahead in the count here, 1-0, and chasing after a pitch high and out of the zone. Looking antsy on that one. He evens the count up at 1-1. Oliver on the night, 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a strikeout on this 1-1 offer. He fouls a pitch up and out of play over the first base dugout where the Diamond Hoppers stand. But I mentioned the big thing of this one coming into play tonight, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers sitting just 1 game back on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, but would be a big night for the Beaver crew if the Westside Wolly Mammoths, who I mentioned out of contention for the 2017 USPBL regular season picture, they will automatically be that number 4 seed no matter what happens the rest of the way. Joel Sharon, the pitcher in this inning, giving up a base knock into left field, a possibility of a great diving catch. R.J. Fear out there in left field for the Westside Wolly Mammoths making a dive, but that ball falling into his mitt on the hop. Oliver reaches with an infield hit, or with a leadoff hit, excuse me. So a leadoff knock right there for the 9-hitter, Brandon Oliver. Puts the Eastside team in business here as we head back to the top of the order. Ricky Castro's put the ball in the air 3 separate times this game, but has yet to get a hit. Chases after the first pitch he sees. He's down in the count here, 0-1. Castro chasing after the 0-1 offer. Now he down in the count, 0-2, on the verge of striking out for the first time all game as he faces off here against Joel Sharon. The left-hander, the windup, the pitch, ball hit, shallow, into right field. Jalen Lawson looks like he had a beat on it from the get-go, and in fact he does. Pop out there to the second baseman is good enough for out number 1 here in this top of the 8th. Ian Mikowski, John Mencken due up here to finish off this top of the 8th inning. Mikowski having a good night thus far. Did strike out to start his night, but since then had walked, got a stolen base, singled, got a stolen base again, and then came in to score for the only run of the game for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. So we'll see if Mikowski's night continues in a successful fashion. Meanwhile, Nick Kraus, the catcher for this Westside team, going out to have a quick conversation with his pitcher. Not sure what about. I'm assuming how they want to attack this next guy, which is a pinch hitter. That is Joe Maroney. Joe Maroney coming out of Pleasanton, California. To quickly give you Maroney's numbers on the season. Not the greatest on the year for the right-hander. Joe Maroney in his time with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, batting just 172 through 44 games. Looks at a couple of pitches, both inside, that missed the zone. He's quickly worked the count 2-0. Maroney with the favorable 2-0 count, looks at a third pitch in a row, and just like that, he has worked the count in his favor, 3-0. John Mencken looming on deck. He's still looking for his first hit of the ball game. And just like that, Joe Maroney not even having to lift the bat off of his shoulder. A 1-out walk brings runners to first and second here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. They're threatening here in this top of the 8th. John Mencken, the next batter in line here for this Eastside team. A good opportunity to give the Eastside team some life in this top of the 8th inning. They trail it by a score of 3-1, but the tying run standing over there at first base, the what would be game-winning run at the plate here for the Eastside team. John Mencken on the season coming into play today, 9 home runs on the year, good enough to lead this Eastside Diamond Hopper team. Cam Stewart looming right behind him with 8 home runs on the year, but a really, really good season thus far for John Mencken, who also supports a .315 batting average through his first 45 games. The 1-1 offer to Mencken just misses low, and the count has worked to 2-0 in his favor. Mencken, like I mentioned, 0 for 3 on the evening. A fly out to right, a grounder to the pitcher, and a pop out to second base. Not a lot of good contact thus far for the man out of Elmhurst, Illinois. He looks at the third pitch of the at-bat, or the fourth pitch of the at-bat, excuse me. That one missing in the dirt as well. He's worked the count in his favor. 3-1 here. The 3-1 pitch missing just high. And would you look at that, back-to-back walks, and 3 men out of 4 have reached safely here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in this inning. A very, very tough situation here for Joel Sharon and the Westside Wolly Mammoths, as Shane McCaddy is going to come out for a conversation, and we'll see if his night is done as well. A big, big spot here for the Mammoths. Even though they cannot fight back and get a higher seed in this season, they're still trying to keep the Eastside Diamond Hoppers out of the second place conversation. I mentioned coming into play tonight, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers sitting at 26-23, just one game behind the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, who have 2 more wins than they do. It's getting down to the wire here in this 2017 USPBL season. Eastside Diamond Hoppers 6-4 in their last 10. Westside Wolly Mammoths looking for their 3rd win in their last 10. Esteban Gomez, the birthday boy, with a really good opportunity to give himself a present. He hits a hard ground ball to the left side. The shortstop, Kent Blackstone, getting the baseball and throwing a one-hopper over to second base, where Jalen Lawson sort of becomes a first baseman and stretches out to the center field area, keeping 1 foot on the bag and retiring the man out at second base. But coming in to score right there was Brandon Oliver. A good job from the middle infielders of this Westside team to at least get a for sure out. John Mencken gets retired over there via the 6-4 putout for out number 2, but reaching on that fielder's choice was Esteban Gomez. He keeps the bases threatening here with runners on the corners, and Cam Stewart coming up to the plate looking for his first hit of the night. Is he due for an opportunity here? So runners on the corners, 2 down now here in this top of the 8th inning. Joel Sharon in an absolutely tough spot, but if he can retire Cam Stewart, he will in fact keep the lead here for his team. A high fly ball hit into left field. Initially, all the fans were getting excited for that big fly ball, but R.J. Fuhr having to take about 1 step in, making the catch with ease for the 3rd and final out. Eastside Diamond Hoppers leave a couple of men on in the inning, but get a run back. They trail it 3-2 as we head to the home half of the 8th. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Mammoths up 3-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this home half of the 8th inning. Eastside Diamond Hoppers getting 2 runs in the last 3 frames. The Westside Wolly Mammoths getting 1 run in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. They had 1 back in the 2nd inning on an RBI single, or excuse me, a wild pitch getting scored on. Alex Abbott came in for the first run of the ball game. Westside Wolly Mammoths with the 3-2 lead as we head to this home half of the 8th. Ethan Whisker, the first batter against the pitcher. That is Torrey DeShazer. DeShazer started the count off 1-0. Whisker with a fly ball out to left field. Making the catch was Josh McAdams for out number 1 here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Torrey DeShazer back out here in this 2nd inning of work. He had came in to relieve the starter, Tanner Keast, who pitched very well in this game, but is technically in line for the loss in this one. Eastside Diamond Hoppers trying to stay alive in this game and put themselves within just a half a game of the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, but not if the Westside Wolly Mammoths can have anything to say about it. Joe Davis, the batter, has already worked himself down in the count 0-2. DeShazer on that one, missing the zone by a mile, getting past the catcher at home plate, Brandon Oliver, and the count has gone to 1-2. 1-2 pitch from DeShazer, swung on and missed. Joe Davis gets retired for the 2nd time in 3 at-bats, 4 plate appearances. He had a single and a walk coming into that at-bat, but goes down via the strikeout for the first time all game in that one. 2 outs here in the first 2 batters. Riley Palmer standing in with bases empty. A little bit of precipitation actually falling on the ballpark here now. We weren't sure if we were going to get any showers in this ball game, and starting to fall down here on the ball field just like that. Riley Palmer on the first attempt he hits a ground ball hard to the left side, but Ricky Castro comes up with the fielding and retires Palmer on the 6-3. We head to the 9th. Mammoths trying to close this one out and defeat the Hoppers for only the 2nd time in 12 games. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final inning we go. Diamond Hoppers trailing it 2-3 behind the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Possibly the final at-bats of the night for Team Eastside. Joel Sharon is done for the evening. He threw 2 innings in the 7th and the 8th, excuse me. In those 2 innings, 31 total pitches. He faced 9 batters, gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. He gives way to Andrew Cohen, who starts off Mark Kruger with a strike in this at-bat. Andrew Cohen, one of the newer faces of this Westside team, in just his 6th relief appearance of the season. Throws ball 1 to Kruger. That evens the count up at 1-1. In this season, a 1-1 record for the right-hander. 3.60 ERA in those 5 relief appearances. Each outing, for the most part, pretty short. Total of 5 innings pitched on the season. 1 strikeout only. He's one of the guys who likes to pitch to contact as he's got that sort of sidearm approach. Jalen Lawson on the 2-1 offer has to dive to his right on a hard hit ball off the bat of Mark Kruger. It's going to go down in the books as a base knock. Tough play there for Lawson. Allows Mark Kruger to reach via the infield hit right there. Kruger on first base, giving way to Trevor Achenbach here. See if he tries to lay one down. Cohen making his 4th total appearance against the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. He actually got the victory back on August the 30th, just a couple of days ago, where the Westside Wolly Mammoths won 5-3. He pitched 2.2 innings, his longest outing of the season, as Achenbach pulls back the bunt on ball 1 right there. Cohen in that game on the 30th in the victory in the 2.2 innings pitched. Gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits, had 2 walks against the 12 batters that he faced. Achenbach on the 1-0 pitch attempts the bunt once again, but can only foul it off. The count now even at 1-1 here. Runner on first is Mark Kruger. Let's check and see if he's got any stolen bases to his credit this season. And in fact, Kruger 3 of 4 coming into play tonight. A bunt being shown, a bunt getting down. The pitcher getting the fielding done right there. Andrew Cohen retires Trevor Achenbach for out number 1 here on the sacrifice bunt attempt. 1 out, runner moving from first to second is Kruger. So they have done 2 of the 3 things that you're supposed to do when you're only down by 1 run. You get your man on. Kruger did his job. Trevor Achenbach getting him over on the sacrifice bunt. He does his job right there. And we'll see if Josh McAdams can get him in here with 1 out, the runner on second base. McAdams looking at a called strike to start this ball, or this at-bat off. And as I say that, looks like a managerial decision getting made right here. Seems as if Mark Kruger's night officially will be done, and into pinch run for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Let's get a number real quick. Number 4, making his way into the ball game, Kyle Figueroa out of Tallahassee, Florida. He's marked down as a catcher here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Catchers not normally known for their speed. We'll see if Mr. Figueroa can get the job done and tie this ball game up on the base pass. Josh McAdams, meanwhile, down in the count here, 0-1. Sidearm pitch is hit on the ground, a high chopper over to the right side where Jalen Lawson throws the ball softly to the first baseman, Joe Davis, and the ball in the dirt. Lawson with a huge miscue right there, an E4 right there. Runners now on the corners here. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers threatening big time. Absolutely tough break right there for the man at second base, Jalen Lawson out of Troy, Alabama. Eastside Diamond Hoppers, who hadn't gotten a run until the 6th inning, trailing it 3-2. They got 5 hits to their credit in this ball game. Arguably the matchup of the evening, as Andrew Cohen faces off against Brandon Oliver. First pitch to Oliver, fastball on the inside part of the plate. Oliver swinging and fouling off one, off to my right of the press box in the grandstands. But this is what you play the game for. Just 3 games left in this 2017 USPBL regular season. Diamond Hoppers down just a game behind the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. And if they can turn this ball game around that they've been trailing the entire night, that would be an absolutely incredible feat. A comeback from behind win if they can pull this one off here tonight. The count, though, 0-2 on Brandon Oliver, the man out of Western Oregon University. And that 3/4/submarine delivery point there from the man on the mound, Mr. Cohen. Too much for Brandon Oliver. Oliver goes down on 3 straight pitches, chasing after that slider that flew away from the strike zone. Oliver goes down for the 3rd time tonight, 1 for 4 on the evening with a single, a run scored, but 2 strikeouts to his credit. Back to the top of the Eastside order we go. Ricky Castro looks in at strike 1 to start this at-bat off. 9:28 on the clock here at this USPBL Game 68. Castro down in the count 0-1. He looks at a ball that was way far inside. Nick Kraus reaching to his right, making the stop. Going from first to second on that one was Josh McAdams. A nice heads-up play there from the left fielder. He's now in scoring position as well. It would be the game-winning run. Ricky Castro trying to fight one off down that left field line. And the game of inches that this game is going in favor of the Wolly Mammoths in that one. That liner down the left field line falling about a foot or two just foul down that left field line. Castro now down in the count 1-2. Eastside Diamond Hoppers down to their final strike. The 1-2 pitch, Castro fouling it off and staying alive, but getting a good piece of his right shin on that foul ball. Castro seems to be just fine. Took a tough piece off the bat right there, but he seems to be perfectly fine. Nick Kraus showing his respect for Mr. Castro, going out to talk with the pitcher on the mound, Mr. Cohen. Nice job right there to give Castro some time, but meanwhile, the ball boy taking a little bit longer than usual to get the umpire some baseballs. So things slowing down for just a second, but back in the action we go. Cohen, the windup, the pitch, the 1-2 offer inside to Castro. Looked as if it might have gotten a piece of his backside as he tried to turn out of the way, but just missing his clothing right there was Cohen. The count evens up at 2-2. Runners on second and third for the Diamond Hoppers. The 2-2 pitch missing just outside. And just like that, the count has rung all the way full against Mr. Castro. Runners on second and third. The Eastside Diamond Hoppers with a couple of frogs on the lily pads. Ricky Castro driving the runs. Ball hit to the left side of the infield to the shortstop, Kent Blackstone. Blackstone throwing the ball to first base, and a bang-bang play over there on the right side of the field. Gets recorded for the final out. Ricky Castro cannot get the job done for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here in the ninth. And that, in fact, is your final, ladies and gentlemen. Westside Wolly Mammoths winning this one by a final of 3-2 over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Eastside Diamond Hoppers falling to 26-24. In fact, that means they are now, let's double check this, that is 1.5 games behind the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers now. And as for the playoff picture, now that they're a game and a half behind, let's try and figure out how close the Beavers are to clinching that first seed. Beavers have just 1 game left in this regular season, but the Diamond Hoppers still with 2 chances. So technically, the only possible way for the Diamond Hoppers to sneak up into that spot is if they win their final 2 games and the Beavers lose. Still not sure if that would even be able to get it done. Lots of technicalities to look at over the course of the rest of these final 3 games. But what an exciting game it was. Both starting pitchers pitched tremendously well. Josh Mason for the Westside Wolly Mammoths, and then Tanner Keast for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Both of those men throwing 6 innings strong. Josh Mason with 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run against him. He will end up getting the victory in this one tonight, as the Westside Wolly Mammoths had to lead the entire game, and then the loss going to Tanner Keast, even though he had thrown 12 strikeouts, tying his season high and USPBL high. He continues his great season, but getting his first decision of the year in his longest outing of the season, ends up with the tough loss in this 3-2 victory for the Westside Wolly Mammoths. Still lots at stake in this season. Let's double check and see who's playing tomorrow here at Jimmy John's Field. Tonight we obviously had the Diamond Hoppers and Wolly Mammoths, and then tomorrow we have these Eastside Diamond Hoppers playing again, a big one, as they will face off against the Utica Unicorns. And then on Monday, Labor Day celebration. The Unicorns will then host the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. So lots to be talked about between these second and third place teams, the Diamond Hoppers and the Unicorns. A lot on the line tomorrow at the ball field. We hope you join us. For Rich Borland and the entire crew here at the USPBL, we say thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. First pitch between the Diamond Hoppers and Unicorns at 1:35. I'll be on the air at 1:25 here from Jimmy John's Field in Game 69 of 71 of the 2017 USPBL regular season. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. My name is Rich Borland. Have a good night.